Today, global warming effects are conspicuously evident. That's why everyone's input is crucial in addressing such pressing concerns. If you're wondering how you can help reduce global warming, consider scrap metal recycling. This approach is time-effective and an excellent way to conserve the environment. Scrap metal recycling promotes environmental sustainability. You don't need to deplete natural resources like metal ores if you can recycle and reuse scrap metal. Instead, you'll need fewer natural resources to manufacture products since scrap metal is already refined and processed. Recycling also prevents soil and water pollution once metals end up in landfills. Continue reading this post to learn the 4 environmental benefits of recycling scrap metal. 1. Preserve natural resources. Conservation of natural resources is one of the primary reasons to recycle scrap metal. Generally, mining companies extract metal ores from the earth. With time, they deplete the resources in the respective mining sites and proceed to other locations to find more virgin metal ores. In turn, recurrent and uncontrolled mining processes result in mineral depletion and significant holes left in the ground. However, scrap metal recycling provides a unique alternative to mining metal ores. By recycling scrap metal, you minimize the destructive impacts of mining on natural resources. Apart from destroying delicate ecosystems, mining causes environmental pollution, especially for the soil, air, and water. Conversely, scrap metal recycling helps alleviate the long-term effects of pollution on the environment. 2. Conserve energy. The high demand for metal raises significant concerns today. As a result, more mining activities are growing to meet the high metal demand. However, mining isn't a viable solution to the problem. Establishing more mining facilities contributes to increased pollution and energy consumption. Besides, manufacturers require more energy to refine and process the metal ores for usability. However, recycling scrap metal into usable products demands relatively less energy than creating new metallic products from virgin metal ores. Recycling will only require fewer modifications, unlike creating new products from scratch. The recycling process consumes less energy, time, and effort. By combining scrap metal recycling and product design, you attain a long-term, energy-efficient solution for the rising metal demands. Furthermore, you can recycle metals repeatedly without losing their unique properties. What's more, you can still extract pure metal from metal alloys when recycling scrap metals. With increased energy conservation, you reduce production costs as well. 3. Lower carbon footprint. The mining and manufacture of new metal products are among the primary causes of CO2 emissions globally. With increased mining activities to meet the high metal demand comes an increase in greenhouse gas emissions. However, one way to conserve natural resources and minimize carbon emissions is the adoption of scrap metal recycling. Ideally, metal recycling is among the best ways for manufacturers to reduce their overall carbon footprint. The mining, transportation, and processing of newer metals demand more energy. These processes also emit vast amounts of carbon dioxide, methane, carbon monoxide, and methane into the environment. However, scrap metal recycling can considerably minimize and decelerate greenhouse gas emissions and their impact on climate change. Recycling metals helps reduce the energy required for production and CO2 emissions. 4. Save natural habitats. Mining metal ores from the ground can cause significant damage to the environment. The mining process involves altering the surrounding natural habitats by creating massive excavations. These significant excavations can contaminate the location's soil and water resources. In turn, contaminated water and soil will negatively impact the natural animal and plant habitats. However, you can save the local ecosystems by choosing to recycle scrap metal. Send your scrap metal to recycling facilities to save your local habitat from perishing. Demolitions generate huge waste that might be difficult to dispose of. You don't have to dispose of everything since you can get various valuable metals at the site. Common metals in these sites include brass, steel, aluminum, and copper. You find metals in roof gutters, ductwork, construction wires, laundry room appliances, etc. The good news about metallic components is that you can recycle and reuse them often. So, what metal components will you find at demolition sites, and why should you recycle them? Read on to find out. Metallic items to recycle after demolitions. Builders use various metals in different areas of the house during construction. Also, some household appliances are entirely or partially made of metals. Metals' weight, resilience, and durability make them suitable for different applications. Notable metals you find in demolition sites include copper. Recycled copper retains its strength and durability and has a huge market base. Copper also attracts good prices, so you stand to make huge profits. An average home's electrical wires and plumbing pipes contain approximately 400 pounds of copper. Other demolition site materials that contain copper include 1. Roofs and gutters. 2. Heat pumps and gas water heaters. 3. Refrigeration lines. 4. HVAC systems. Steel. Steel is among the strongest construction materials. You can especially find it in high-rise premises and commercial facilities. Demolition sites contain steel in items such as 1. Steel piles. 2. Girders. 3. Structural steel. 4. Household appliances. 5. Trusses. Producers use recycled steel to manufacture products like cars and kitchen utensils. The more steel you recycle, the fewer miners will need to mine key steel ingredients, iron, and coal. As such, you shouldn't leave steel materials to go to waste. Aluminum. Aluminum is desirable for construction because of its reflectivity, durability, and high strength-to-weight ratio. Aluminum has many applications in the household too. Therefore, you will find aluminum in plenty after a demolition. Materials that contain aluminum include 1. Household cans. 2. Door and window frames. 3. Gutters and downspouts. 4. Some electrical cabling. 5. Window frames. Why should you recycle construction metals after demolitions? Demolition of an average house generates approximately 150 pounds of aluminum and 20 pounds of copper and brass. Metal companies can melt down the old, twisted scrap metals from a demolition site. After that, you remold the metals to new items. The benefits you gain when you recycle construction metals outweigh the collection costs. Find below why you should recycle metals from a demolition site. Conservation of natural resources. The more metal the world needs, the more metal miners need to produce. The result is a depletion of natural resources because metals don't replenish themselves. When you recycle demolition metals, you reduce the demand for new metals. Consequently, you reduce the need to mine and drill new metal ores. Eco-friendliness. The lesser the number of new metals required, the greater producers save power. Production of new materials consumes more power than recycling the same metal. You can then channel the conserved electricity to other uses. Besides, miners use huge excavators and equipment to dig the ground. The process releases hazardous components and destroys the soil. Financial gain. Collection of scrap metals from your demolition site pays off because scrap yards and scrap metal companies pay for the metals. The huge amount of metals available generates extra cash that you would otherwise miss. You will also avoid landfill fees and associated expenses if you dispose of the waste in another way. One of the biggest achievements is acquiring a car, which you probably love or loved once. However, your car gets old enough to be unusable and becomes a drag in your life and your finances. Old cars may develop various problems that make them inefficient to run and maintain. If the repair or maintenance costs exceed the value of your car, then you should consider scrapping it to cut your financial losses. The following article outlines the various reasons you should scrap your car. Scrapping your vehicles means selling an unwanted or unused vehicle to a scrap dealer. Once you sell your car to a scrap buyer, they will crush, depollute, and then recycle it into materials to help manufacture other vehicles. Vehicles are also salvageable with their valuable parts stripped off to fix other cars. You can decide to scrap your car for many reasons. Discover some common reasons below. Sometimes, you may spend more money repairing your car than what it is actually worth. If you reach that point, consider scrapping it, as it can earn you some profit. Some scrap dealers are willing to buy your car whether it is damaged or is too old to run or maintain. Some car owners may continue driving their cars even if they have worn out because they are old. But the car will always reach a point where it becomes unsafe to drive. If your car is old and unsafe to drive, consider scrapping it instead of putting yourself and other road users at risk. Your car can be declared a write-off if it is too expensive to repair or it's beyond repair after an accident. If your car has been written off, then scraping it will be a good way to get some money in exchange for your car to finance your new car purchase. Some people might strip off valuable parts of their cars to resell or reuse them in the future. If this happens, the car can no longer function or run, making it suitable for scrapping. Scrap or salvage the car instead of considering buying and fixing the missing parts. Old cars can be extremely expensive to run because they can be fuel inefficient. If you refill your car more often than expected, consider scrapping it to purchase a newer, more fuel-efficient car. Moreover, you can't always easily resell your old car due to the recent advancements in fuel efficiency for new vehicles with electric and hybrid technology. Under this situation, the best alternative is to scrap your car where you'll still gain some profits. One of the obvious reasons you may not need your car is because you have acquired another better car, which means dumping the previous car. Moreover, if you move to a new suburb or a city with efficient means of transport, you may find that owning a car brings more trouble than it's worth. A car entails a lot of hassles and expenses. Many property owners agree that cars are among the hardest things to let go of. Your old car has probably seen you through many memorable parts of your life, such as road trips, first dates, and family vacations. When that car reaches the end of its life, you may be reluctant to let go of the vehicle and instead choose to leave it on your property. But that decision does more harm than good to your property and pocketbook. Discover some reasons not to leave your junk car on your property. Environmental reasons. Cars are made of various materials, including steel, aluminum, glass, plastic, and rubber. While these materials may be recyclable, they will eventually rust and leach harmful chemicals into the soil if they sit on your property. In addition, fluids like oil and gasoline can also leak from the car and contaminate the ground. Finally, if you have kids or pets playing in the yard, these chemicals could harm them. So even if you're environmentally conscious, don't wait years to get rid of a vehicle you don't intend to revive. Aesthetics reasons. An old car sitting in your yard makes your home look neglected. Not only is the vehicle an eyesore, but it can also bring down the value of your property, especially if you intend to sell it. Potential buyers may automatically assume you haven't been keen on property maintenance. As a result, the buyers might be unwilling to meet your asking price. In addition, your neighbors may not be thrilled about the sight of a junk car in your yard. And if the neighbors make a complaint to the city, you could be fined on the basis of violation of local ordinances. Financial reasons. An old car on your property may seem harmless now, but the junk may cost you money in the long run. First, you usually have to renew that car's insurance, even though you no longer drive it. Moreover, if you don't dispose of the vehicle properly, you could be liable for any environmental damage that results from the car. In addition, junk cars may attract thieves to your property who want to strip the vehicle for parts. If someone breaks into the car, you may have to pay for repairs. Finally, if the vehicle is towed off your property, you'll be responsible for the towing and storage fees. You can avoid all these expenses simply by scrapping the vehicle. Most scrapping companies will pick up the car from your homes so you won't incur extra costs. Safety reasons. Leaving a junk car on your property is not safe. These vehicles can attract vermin and pests, which can then invade your home in search of food and shelter. In addition, junk cars may be a place to hide drugs or other illegal activities, which not only compromises your safety but could put you on the wrong side of the law. Moreover, small children may be tempted to play in or around the car, which could lead to serious injury. At the end of the day, your junk car is just that, junk. And no matter how long you hold onto the vehicle, it adds no value to your home.